Hey there, friends. I recently had the privilege of interviewing my new friend Nala Heer. She runs Zara Studio Co. in local Kewaunee County here, and it's a fascinating small business because she does a traveling art studio. Different elements of her business because it's very community focused and it's very interesting. So I hope that you enjoy this interview as much as I did. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for agreeing to be part of this.
Thank you
If you
for
would like
having me.
Yeah, if you'd like to just give a little brief introduction of yourself and what you do.
Okay. So my name is Nala. Last name is Her. I own Zara Studio Co. So Zara Studio is a traveling art studio. I just kind of do public and private painting events. I also do face painting. I just try to incorporate the community in a lot of my painting events, and a lot of that has to do with not only bringing the community into the events, but also incorporating other things in our community. So I've done different painting events like my Kewaunee lighthouse painting and just incorporating things that bring everybody together in the community. So a big part of that for me is I just really enjoy painting. I really enjoy watching people paint and teaching people how to paint. So I decided to come up with this business because it's fun for me and it's fun for other people, and people need to have more fun.
Perfect. Couldn't agree more. So I'm going to touch on those points in a minute, but I know your name, Zara Studio, that means something. Is it unique or significant? I believe I've seen in the past. What does that mean? What does that stand for?
So Zara actually means blooming flower. So when I was looking into things today in my business, Zara was the first thing that came up to me because it actually kind of derived from my husband and I used to play World of Warcraft a lot. And
Okay.
um, Zara was my name in World of Warcraft. So when I was looking into things today, in my business, I was looking into Zara and I saw that it meant blooming flower. And I was like, well, that kind of fits because I'm helping people kind of blossom into themselves with their creativity. And I love what that means for us.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Like I said, I knew that it had something. I remember seeing that in the past. 'Cause I believe that's on your website or somewhere in
Yes.
there that I've seen, but that's a good, unique way to find a name. That's a trouble a lot of businesses have is just where they land on and why they land on a business name, right? So that's good. Um, I find your business very unique. Um, Besides the just the events and the painting, and there's all the things that go into it for you.
Hmm.
It's very community centered and very focused on relationships and people.
Yeah.
Um, how did you land on that business model? I mean, you touched on it a little bit on bringing people happiness, helping them bloom into themselves. But how did you land on that, and why did you decide to stick with that as your main way to do a business?
Um, for me, the way that I decided it was just I was looking for a way to make money in a creative way. And it's kind of how it started. It was just me being like, well, I could probably do some painting classes. And I'd never done any of them before. And I was very nerve-wracked for the first time. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've done art my entire life. I've never done any like actual painting classes where I went to college for anything like that. But it's just my mom was an artist growing up and I learned everything from her. So it's just kind of like a part of me and a part of just what I do on a daily basis anyway, because I just love art so much. Um, but a big part of it was being in the community, touching with the community, and getting people in the community to be creative. I wanted to find a way to get people to be creative. So the first thing that I started with this business was actually pet portraits. I was doing pet portraits just of people's pets. I was doing dogs, cats, frogs, lizards, pretty much anything you can think of. I was doing pet portraits. And I was really enjoying doing that and getting art out into the community. But I wanted to find a way that really got people painting and got people being creative, doing it. And so this is kind of what happened. It became a painting event business, and that's just what it is now, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the cool part of it. So when we first met, I was aware of you. I knew that you existed. I had found your social media pages and stuff, but I didn't meet you until we did the Small Business Expo together. And you taught my daughter a little bit about how to do the splatter painting, and she got to do a little hands-on. And that was really her first foray into any kind of real art experience, I guess. And I got to
Yep.
see you teach that live and get a little feel for your personality. And I was hooked right away, and I didn't even paint, right? So I think it's a great way to get people out of their comfort zone because
Yeah.
I kind of had to tease and prod at her a little bit. I was like, hey, let's go over there and do this painting. But that was the highlight of her day. It really was. So being able to get out there, contribute, and I particularly like that you have the community element to even that painting where everybody
Mhm.
got to add a little bit to it. And at the end, you had this painting that wasn't just necessarily yours or wasn't just somebody, everybody put some input into it. And it was a beautiful painting. It was great. Um, and that's a unique part that really even with other classes and things, I know some people that have other businesses along similar lines, not necessarily exactly or the way that you do it, but I had never seen something like that before. So that was a great experience for all of us. And uh I guess
Good. Glad you made it
it was
that.
just something, like I said, unique and different that you don't see all the time.
Mm.
um, well, that leads me though, things like that community painting and the things about how you're saying you want to bring other people into painting. How do you find the inspiration for what you're going to paint? I know that sometimes the location matches the picture you're doing, where you do the lighthouse or like the boardwalk or something. How do you come
Yeah.
across those ideas?
So, a lot of it is the location. So I've done one for the Algoma Lighthouse. I've done one for the Kewaunee Lighthouse. Um, I kind of base it off of location quite a bit, especially for my landscape painting. The other inspiration that I really have is I try to base it off of our current holidays, our current season. So like if we're doing something for winter, I'll focus more on the winter aspect of things. But I get a lot of inspiration from Pinterest and just kind of going through there. Um, and then yeah, a lot of it is just me coming up with an idea. So I was talking with a lady when I was doing face painting, and she was like, you should really do like a full moon painting where you're painting out the full moon and everything with the full moon in the sky. I'm like, that's a really good idea. And now I have this full moon painting that I'm doing this weekend with a whole bunch of women, and I'm really excited for it. So it's really just kind of, I try to make the experience about the painting. And I try to differentiate each painting based on where I'm painting it. So I had a painting event at this really cool place in Manitowoc called the Baldy Farm. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly or not, it might be bald, but she has a petting zoo there. And I did a floral splatter painting because I was just like, floral, it's summer, splatter painting, I just love doing it. So let's just do that. And it turned out really great. It was something that nobody had ever done before. And we all just had fun. And then we got to pet a whole bunch of goats and alpacas.
Perfect. Yeah, I've seen them, and I think that's, I obviously I'm in the marketing realm, and I think just having that where you can fit the painting to the venue or more the local area when you do things like the lighthouse or you do things like I think in Kewaunee you kind of did that the lakefront, like the beach leading the path leading down. Was that Kewaunee? I mean, when you can do things like that, it makes it a little bit more meaningful to people, and then you're letting them make it themselves. You're not just painting it and giving it to them, right? Eh,
And it keeps the community involved in an even bigger way because it's about their community. And they're like, oh, well, that would be awesome if I had that.
Exactly. And that's the emotional pull in marketing, right? Um, and with that, I'm going to transition into some marketing conversation here. What do you think's been the most difficult thing you've encountered with trying to grow a business like this over time? Because you have a little bit of a unique situation where your business depends on other venues and other people in order to be able to happen.
Yep. Yeah. It really is a process. And I've had a couple different painting events that I did have to cancel because I didn't have enough people buying tickets. Um, but the biggest thing that I think was the difficulty was really just getting the word out there about it. Because especially when you have an event at a venue, like if you don't have flyers at that venue, if you don't have the business actually promoting you and trying to get people to come to these events, then a lot of it just kind of falls on deaf ears. So even, I've done videos and marketing on Facebook, and I don't really see a lot of pull from that. So yeah, I think that a big part of me getting out into the community and actually going to these businesses and saying, here's what I have to do, here's what I'm doing for you, here's all these flyers, here's what I can do for you, all that stuff. Um, Having them participate in the marketing has helped me the most. Especially like I don't know if you've seen my most recent painting event at Red's Pub and Grill, but Jessica at Red's is absolutely
A
fantastic.
marketing rock star, yes.
Not only made a whole video of the painting event, but she was helping with the promoting. She had me bring in, even before the event, she had me bring in the easel and the canvas and some paintbrushes so that she could make a video off of that. So it's really, when it comes to the community, it's not just like the people that are coming to the event, but it's the businesses in the community that are contributing the most to it. And I really appreciate that about them is that, it's a mutual relationship with them. I go there, people spend money, they get food, they get drinks, they might even if it's just a venue for events, they might even schedule an event for themselves. But it's really giving back to the businesses in the community as well, and that's a big part of why I love doing what I do.
Yeah, and it helps when you have someone like Jessica too. And I'm gonna put the plug. If she's watching, she's on my list. It's a study of things. I follow her pages, and it's pretty impressive.
It
But
is
back to the task at hand. Uh,
impressive.
so you kind of touched on it a little bit there with where you talked about the things that help. I had asked originally what was the biggest struggle. So I was going to ask next, what is something, have you had any kind of marketing thing that you've done or a marketing trick that you've used that's given you a big boost? I mean, you touched on a little bit maybe with like the venues themselves helping, but is there anything that you do that you found that kind of hacks the situation for you and helps?
A big part of it is really just community pages. So, I am in like the Algoma community chat. I'm in the Kewaunee Speak Up, and people don't know about anything unless you're talking about it. And a lot of people, like I know a few different business owners that are a little bit nervous to kind of promote their own things, but people love supporting businesses, especially small businesses. So if you promote yourself on a community chat, and I know a lot of the community chats in other areas don't really let you promote anything, but the cool thing about Kewaunee County is that we've got some great wonderful patrons who really love supporting businesses. So if you can get your word out there on Facebook, on anything that, any group or hey, even going out into the community doing volunteering or talking about stuff like the small business expo, like that really gets yourself out there and it gets people talking about you and it gets people knowing that you're there. So yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think we've been a little lucky. We have some what I would call real local heroes, certain people that run the certain pages and really are selfless in their promoting their friends and other community businesses, not just their friends, right? Um,
Mhm.
but we have a few. I won't name names right now, but you know who they are. You've met some, and you talk about it. And I would say myself as a business owner too, I've found a lot of success with that same kind of thing or I can share in the community pages really gets word out because some people just they don't know that you're there, right? You have to get in front of them. And on the flip side of that, when somebody goes there, they're going to community pages looking for, hey, I need somebody in my case for something marketing, a website related. In your
Mhm.
case, it might be I'm looking to have an event or we have a birthday party or we have a whatever kind of event.
So
And
something,
it's
yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you can go in the comments and see all your friends roll out a little bit for you, and it's
Mhm.
oh, right in the comments, one, two, three, four people say this is who you should go to. This is your person. I mean, it feels good. Outside of it helps your business, right? So it makes you
Mhm.
want to be part of that community, and I couldn't agree more. I think that's a huge boost. It's one of the strategies I have clients, I teach them is hit that community page, just blitz them a little bit, not
Mhm.
obnoxiously, but use your resources. People are in these
Right.
little small towns like Kewaunee, Algoma, Two Rivers, and they don't even post in that page saying they're there. Um,
Mhm.
but all right, going down my list here. Um, from a marketing standpoint, do you have any projects that are in the works that you'd be able to share with us or tell us? Or I know you just recently had your website kind of updated or released through. That was maybe a month or two ago here. My wee summer's flown by, so time blends. You had the
Yeah.
website, you're doing some things around. Do you have anything new or anything happening in the moment?
In terms of marketing, it's hard to think. So I do have my new website. I worked really hard on getting that together. It took me weeks to get that together. Um, One thing I'm trying to start doing is doing videos at home of tutorials for painting. And right now it's only just in the infancy. But if I can get that going, that would be really great. Just because, I have a lot of people that aren't able to come to some of the events, but they still want to do that. So I have a couple different ideas of kind of putting together like kits that you can buy and um, that will come along with like a tutorial on how to paint it. So that's kind of in the near future. I just kind of am adjusting a little bit. I have a new day job, so I'm adjusting to those hours, adjusting to that my kid going to school for the first time. So it's kind of the process of it's starting to be the busy season again, and everybody's getting busier. So
Oh, I hear that.
kind of what I'm looking forward in the future.
Well, that's awesome. As before we've gotten to talk and we haven't really got to talk about your business, I had ideas, and those are two of the things on my list. So I'm glad that you're thinking in that direction.
If
Um,
you have other ideas.
yeah, yeah. So if when those things come to fruition, say in the
Mhm.
future, hopefully sooner than later, but everybody's busy in schedules. I understand that. Is that going to be just through your website? Are those tutorials you thinking maybe like a subscription kind of thing, or how would we find them in your mind? I
Some
mean,
of them
obviously it could.
are going to be in a subscription form. I do already have the subscription out there on my website, and I'm working on getting that more solidified with things that can entice people to subscribe and to keep subscribing. Um, but a lot of it is just going to be, yeah, purchasing on my website. You can purchase the kit, and then it'll be a video that gets sent to you in your email.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Um, so just in general questions here, I guess I have a couple that are just more, I don't want to say philosophical questions, but I kind of want to know from your viewpoint, what are your dreams for this business? Like, if you could look forward 5 to 10 years in the future, what do you see it becoming?
See, that's a really hard question for me because I just kind of go with the flow of things. When I first started this business, it was almost a year ago, and August 1st, it would have been August a year ago. And my first painting event was October 17th. So it took me a little bit to get up and running for that. But, it's really, I'm in my first year of my business and it's just in the infancy and we're trying to figure everything out. But 5 to 10 years down the line, I have no idea.
Is
One
this
of the,
something you could see yourself doing full time?
that's kind of my hope. So right now I am working as the children's librarian at the Kewaunee Public Library. And a lot of me going for that was to give me more experience working with kids, get me more experience out in the community doing that type of craft type of stuff. Um, and I want to do more kids-based things with my business as well. So I think that's going to help me going forward is kind of learning from that experience. But 5 to 10 years down the line, I would love to be full time. I would love to be doing this as my sole thing that provides for my family. That's my goal down the line is really just having this. I mean, I would love to have my whole week filled with teaching people how to paint. That's all that I do. But right now, like I said, we're just in the infancy, so we're trying to figure ourselves out.
Fair enough. I have ideas. We're gonna have to connect after we're
Good.
done with all this sometime. I definitely have ideas. Um, so the next question then I would have, again along that line, so it might be a tough one to answer again, was if you could just grant yourself anything, any wish to just snap your fingers and it happens for your business, what's that one thing you'd ask for help with right now? Like the thing that if you're like, if I could just make this happen, this is what it would be.
I think for me it would be videos. So the process of videos and editing videos is such a long and difficult process. But, like Jessica with Reds, and she did that video, and I was like, oh my God, that was amazing. When I'm doing a painting event, I do a couple different things here and there where I'll take videos, I'll take pictures, but if I had somebody else to do that for me, that would be fantastic.
I That's more common than you'd think.
Yeah, I
And I
bet.
think in your situation where if you're comfortable being on video, that's a leg up already. A lot of people don't even want their face on video.
Yep,
And it's
yep.
like it's your business. You're the face of it with a small business, right? So, I mean,
Mhm.
what makes them want you to be the one painting and teaching this class versus someone else is you. So, if you're comfortable being on video, that's a huge boost. I I
Mhm.
think that definitely a possibility. We have some connections. We might be able to figure something out there.
Okay.
Um, so then I guess just to kind of wrap things up, where can people find you? That was the thing you said, like that's the biggest hurdle. Where can they find you? Your website, your social medias, what are they?
So you can find me on Facebook. I post a lot of my events on Facebook. It's just Zara Studio Co. I also have an Instagram page that's been posting more on there. I also have a couple behind the scenes things that I post on Instagram as well. So if you're ever looking into wanting to know what I do and how I do it, a lot of that'll be posted on Instagram. Kind of like a behind the scenes thing that I like to do. So if I have my paintings out or if I have my brushes being cleaned, I'll just kind of snap a picture, post it on there, let people know what I'm doing. Um, but yeah, it's really just Instagram and Facebook. You can go to my website, zarastudio.co. Um, and I also have a subscription letter too. So if you wanted to know about more events going forward, um, just subscribe to my newsletter and it'll just be sent to you in an email.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to do this. And hopefully we can do something again in the future.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Well, of course, anytime you want to be on camera, we'll put you on camera.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that interview with Nala as much as I did. And if you're interested in being featured in our next Small Business Spotlight, get in touch and maybe you'll be featured soon.